Hi Libra, I hope you're doing amazing. Welcome on in. We're going to talk about your money and career situation for mid-May 2023. So this is meant to pertain to the remainder of your month beginning around when you were guided or drawn to this video. But we're going to keep it simple and jump right into the Gilded Tarot Royale and see what the rest of the month has to offer for you. For my lovely Librans, getting what you need is what I'm hearing. Getting what you need. Some of you might be second guessing the leaving behind of a situation, whether it was a job, it could have been an investment of some sort for you. It could have been more than one situation. I do also feel like some Librans drawn to the reading are thinking about past levels of overspending. I do feel as if that might be still continuing to an extent. You might be doing a bit better, if not fully better. But Spirit's saying there was more than one reason why that was taking place, and I feel as if it could have taught you one, if not multiple, important lessons. But I do sense that if you're finding yourself in a state of lack, or you find yourself viewing things in a very imperfect way, right? Focusing on the imperfections, Spirit will adjust your perspective, but at times you need to check yourself. I do also feel like there's thoughts of where you're feeling trapped, a very Eight of Swords vibe. A bit tied up, if you will. I do sense that this could be where you're living, where you're working. It could be where you're running your business. But or even trapped in regards to certain financial obligations or debt, stuff of that nature, wanting to clean things up, get ahead. But I do feel like either way, you're thinking very maturely, in a very responsible manner. But yeah, I need to adjust your perspective when you're not thinking about things, viewing your situation, your money and career situations in the most optimistic light. Okay, just keeping it completely real, because I feel like part of you is expecting the worst. Now, I do feel like for some drawn to the reading, there's going to be a big switch up by the end of the month or around that point in regards to where you're living and or working or running your business, because I do feel like there's a focus on the fact that you're manifesting quite easily at this point. And so any disturbances, annoyances, bad energy, I want to say, the way something's run, could be one if not multiple people you work with and or live with, don't stress it, okay? Because they are either on their way out or just not a full focus, or shouldn't be. It just feels like you have a lot to get done, but I also am getting the message that you are getting things done quite easily when you're meant to. So if there is one if not multiple points in the remainder of May when you can't get things done, accomplished easily, doesn't mean it has to be super easy, right? It just has to kind of flow naturally, organically. And it's like, okay, that was refreshing in comparison to past times when I forced it or it felt difficult. Then you need to step away, okay? If it's feeling difficult or feeling like a force to an extent or fully, because there's something about when you're meant to get it accomplished later on or further down the line, or just reasoning why it's just not going to be worth it to get frustrated or just keep pushing, keep forcing it, okay, to keep attempting. They're saying this is your overall energy. I'm not surprised. The King of Pentacles, okay, excuse me. The King of Wands, that came out for a reason. You might want to watch the Leo reading, because the King of Pentacles was their overall energy in the beginning of their reading for mid-May. But the King of Wands talking about how you're very passionate, you're very bold, thinking about a bold move, a change, a switch up for the future for some. But thinking about your bold, courageous nature in regards to all that you have at hand, all that you haven't given up on. I feel like there's an entrepreneur, if not multiple drawn to the reading, that is so brave to have continued what they're running, what they're putting out there into the universe, even with certain naysayers, people that doubted it or told them not to prioritize it. And now look at you. You're doing well, or you're simply doing better, seeing progress, impressing people. But I feel like either way, you could be running a department for some, a company. But I do feel like if you're working one, if not multiple day-to-day jobs, you could be working a job and running a business, right? I wouldn't be surprised, being a hardworking Libra. It's leaving you burnt out at times. It's leaving you depleted. It's like this feeling of you wanting to keep it going, right? You might find that the remainder of May, the second half in general, feels more energetic, more motivated. That could be due to certain levels of implementing product-wise or habit-wise, even removing of habits, if not just one in general. It could be you taking care of yourself. It could be stepping out of Mercury retrograde. However it looks for you, and it could be more than one thing. It's like you don't feel as kind of tired or a lack of motivation, and then that leads to you feeling a bit depleted, right? I'm getting the vibe of some Libras being drawn to the reading, if I could speak, being drawn to the reading, feeling very motivated, energized at the beginning of, most of the days and the remainder of the month. And then by the beginning of the fourth quarter, or just towards the end, it's like, oh, I'm so dead. But I just feel as if tied into that, wrapped up into it, is a very fulfilled vibe. It's like, it feels good to be productive. It feels good to get ahead or just to stay on top of things, to impress people and to impress yourself all the meanwhile. To continue for Libra. Looking good is what I'm hearing. Looking good. Oh my goodness, some very positive cards. We did start off with some negatives. I mean, to an extent. And I feel like you're being viewed as a mystery, okay? A mystery. You might be picking up on one, if not multiple other people's emotions, whether it's through your work or it could just be where you're living and or working. So just keep that in mind when you're feeling a little bit emotional at a certain point, or maybe a little bit weighed down. But the Ace of Cups and the Six of Wands and the Three of Cups, you are seeing abundance overflow from your cup. Now, I do feel like regardless of what's overflowing from your cup at this time, remembering abundance can be a multitude of beautiful things for you, not just financial gain. I do feel as if you can't help but think about, well, how am I going to acquire more of this or more of that or this specific situation in order to move to this new place of residence, or in order to make this change or have this comfortable lifestyle for myself, knowing deep down that you're meant for more. And it's this feeling that at times Spirit's going to say, gratitude is life force is what I'm hearing, is the root, the main factor that you need to be focusing on at this point for your manifestation. Because you're going to be noticing, if you haven't already, that you are manifesting quite easily. So focusing on what you have and being grateful for it will bring you more comfort, more abundance, more financial gain moving forward. And this, I feel like, will help you in more than one way, okay? Because it feels like whatever big change you're thinking about, it's coming to mind quite consistently or just sporadically for a reason, because it's meant to be. It's this feeling of certain spirits trying to keep you in line, or just, don't overspend because you want to make that happen. Don't overdo it with this habit because you want to make this happen. But at times that may lead to you just kind of overdoing it in the thought process, right? And then some having Spirit think, for you. And so that can add to it or on top of it. But it feels like all the meanwhile, it's like eye on the prize. But at the same time, there's going to be specific moments where you're pushed to draw your attention, your alignment back to the present moment and be grateful for where you're at. Because I mentioned this in your monthly reading. I think you will miss where you're at to an extent at a certain point down the line after you make that change, even if you don't think so. So just enjoy it, okay? I'm also hearing please utilize certain benefits at hand, however that looks for you, while you have them, or just in general. But victory lies on the horizon for you, but there's certain other levels of victory to be noticed, to be acquired, and to be wrapped up with in the remainder of May. It feels like you have more than one reason to celebrate, and I feel like the number 3 and the spiritual meaning of a triangle coming into play. It just feels like things are lining up for you. You might be gaining a new position, a new door opening for you, and this is exactly what you need to take steps in the right direction towards more for you. It feels like it's time for Libra to no longer feel as if the universe is letting you down, or things are just in a consistent state of lack, or just a gain and then, loss, or gain and then now we're back to lack, right? And that up and down vibe. It's like, let's take steps in the right direction, be smart, be realistic and mature about how we spend our money, about how we utilize our time and resources, and watch things improve day by day, step by step, moment by moment, as they're saying, dollar bill by dollar bill, and watch yourself see your life transform for the better. It feels like a very empowering time for you, where you're going to get a lot done. You're going to feel as if things are just starting to work out more so in your favor, and Spirit saying this is just the beginning. Let's actually pull a couple more to wrap this up. The King of Cups and the Five of Wands in reverse. When things feel less stressful than you expect, or than you once experienced, rather, don't be surprised, because it feels like Spirit's giving you a hint of what lies ahead, a bit of an experience to highlight how much better things are meant to be moving forward. It feels like there's going to be a focus on some of which drawn to the reading your predictive nature, if not one or multiple people in their predictive nature. It feels like it's a time for you to ride the waves, get things done, be productive, improve, and think about change from the past and the future in a very simplistic manner, but allow for yourself to believe the best and expect the best, because again, you're manifesting. It's a time of improvement. It's a time of success, and it's a time for you to see things work out in your favor once again. All right? So I hope this was truly helpful. Sending you so much love and light. Go enjoy the remainder of May, and I'll see you next time.